How's it going, guys? Andrew here.
And Connor.
Oh,
and Matt.
oh no, we got some aggression over here.
Well, he's usually over here, and we said we go this way.
Fair enough,
so.
fair enough. Welcome to Lights Camera Reaction, LCR for short, episode 48.
Yes.
What are we talking about, guys?
Total Recall.
Okay,
I'm down.
we could talk about
That's a good
Total
opener.
Recall.
The remake, that is. Screw the
that.
original.
No, but we could talk about that for a few minutes. But we are going to be talking about Dr. Sleep. All spoilers.
I was joking. We're just gonna talk about Dr. Sleep.
Wow, you don't want to talk about Total
Someone's
Recall?
Just like Dr.
Tired.
Sleep, I am.
Oh my
sleepy.
gosh!
Fuck you, dude.
Fuck you! What
my
did you
day
do
off.
today?
Whoa.
I did some stuff.
Guys, please.
It's not gonna talk about on the podcast because this is my personal life.
He played video games and yanked it,
Okay.
and probably ate some
don't we all
food.
do that?
You don't play
Hey,
video games?
No Nut November. Come on, man.
All right,
Fuck
that. Well, anyways, I like Total Recall. These guys never saw it, so we watched it as a fun action movie.
Yep.
And that's all I'm gonna say because Matt's gonna yell at me if I say anything else.
Very good. Go see it.
Yeah, go see it in
theaters. Go buy your
Use,
tickets.
AMC A-list to go see the movie.
Hey, it'll probably show in like the Plaza. They show a lot of older
That
films.
is true. That is true.
So
Yeah.
check your local indie theater.
Yeah, so all of you listeners in like North Dakota, come out here to Atlanta and go to the Plaza.
Do we have any North Dakota listeners? That'd be kind of dope.
That would be kind of dope.
I don't know. North Dakota, rise up.
Dude, drop a ND in the comments if you're from
what?
North Dakota.
A what?
ND?
A what?
Okay, well, Caleb is not here, sadly, and he did not leave me notes. So fuck you, Caleb.
Come on, Caleb.
Your opinion means nothing now. So we're just
For
gonna
all
talk.
we know, he hated it.
Yeah, for
I
all
think
we know.
he did hate it.
I think it's the worst movie he saw this year.
Oh,
No, he.
that's objectively wrong.
Yeah, it is. I think it might be his favorite movie of the year. So
Is it really?
Oh my God, Connor, learn how to read sarcasm.
no, honestly,
Oh,
you
that's
remember
what I
him
was
saying
saying.
that?
Is
What?
that his favorite movie of the year?
Yeah, he said it possibly could pass Endgame.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Connor was still just like
no, not about
confused.
the worst movie. I was talking about
okay.
the
I
best
thought-
movie.
I
I was
thought
like,
that's what
holy
you were
shit.
no,
confused
yeah,
about.
he said it might pass Endgame. So
That's a lot of love then.
it is a lot of love. So yeah, we're just gonna be talking about this movie. We saw it. We all saw it last night, but you just saw it at a
I
later
saw it
screening.
very, very late.
What, like
I
10,
got out at
10, 15?
Yeah, I got out at like 1:30 or something.
fuck
Dude,
that.
no, I was dead.
I
I
was
was so
already asleep.
tired. I told Jason.
Who did you see it with?
Jason.
Jason. Oh, okay.
But I didn't know he was coming up. You know, I tell you that he like fucks with me a lot. So he's like, "Oh, dude, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I think I'm just gonna go 6 o'clock." Where I'm like, "That's understandable. It's 10 o'clock." You know. Get seated. Like 5 minutes later, motherfucker shows
He
up.
just shows
I'm like,
up?
Dude, I was laughing so hard. I was like, "That's his best one. That's his best one he pulled off. He likes to fuck around a lot." So
Well,
yeah, ended up seeing it with them.
in preparation for the film, about a week or so ago, we watched The Shining. Matt kind of watched it. He watched a little bit of it.
Eating some barbecue,
Eating some barbecue.
enjoying some Jack Torrance action.
He was playing some Apex, Call of Duty, something
Oh,
like
right,
that.
right.
And yeah, so let's just dive into the first like 10 minutes of the movie because I would say it's a fun epilogue to The Shining. That if you wanted a little more resolution with Wendy and Danny and what happens to them after the events at the Overlook, you get it. And also, though, it's where I think the director took the biggest risk in not using the de-aging technology.
Interesting decision.
What are our thoughts on the opening 10 minutes? I love the silence. It's great.
I was giving the floor to Matt before I had my gripes about it.
I enjoyed it.
What does the film open up like first shot in the movie? I
It was
forget.
the family camping.
Oh, was that the first scene?
Yeah,
The
that
girl?
was the first
Okay.
scene. Yeah, so it
Violet.
was more of an introduction to
Oh my.
the villain.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a weird way to open it up with like the villain to start because then we didn't see him for a minute. But in terms of like Danny and Wendy, it was weird because you learn that Danny has just been kind of mute for quite a few months ever since the events that had happened at the Overlook. They've moved to Florida because they were just like, we don't want to see any part of snow ever again, which is understandable.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the opening. Nothing really jumped out at me that made me dislike it or like it more than I would have. Like, I don't know. It was fine to me. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. I reminded him. I don't know if you remember when we were watching The Shining. He was like, I wonder if the older black gentleman will make a return in this movie. And then I saw him and I was like, motherfucker, he is. Like, his character is in the movie. I kind of thought that was...
now, that's a different actor, right? They didn't use the aging technology?
No, everybody's a different actor.
Okay. But he looked and sounded a lot like him. That's why
Yeah,
was
he
like,
was probably the best one.
I was like, if this is the aging technology, that's really impressive.
Yeah, no, he did a really good job. You got scared?
It's just really loud.
So for me, I like the opening because I think Mike Flanagan establishes that like the villains are going to get a lot of the story. We're gonna really learn these villains, and I like the pacing of like you hear the tree, like the twig or whatever tree branch break, and then there's like one guy, and then there's like 8 of them, and then the next shot they got closer. Like you didn't really see them move, which made it more unpleasing. And that little girl, is that the girl from Iron? Is that Iron Man's
Oh my God,
daughter?
is that
No,
little baby
so.
Stark?
Is it not?
No.
No.
I can look it up. You can keep going.
I feel like she's in something that I saw though. But anyways, so that was a really scene, like a disturbing scene, because she obviously dies, and we see a scene later that is what I imagine she went through, which is really sad.
No, but she's in Haunting of Hill House and apparently Ready Player One.
That's it. Haunting of Hill House. That's how I know her.
Well, my friend, he uses a lot of his same
Everybody.
actors. Yeah,
Everybody in this movie,
Which I like.
pretty much has worked with him before.
tall guy from Gerald's Game, spooky guy. That's
Yeah.
the
Also,
older guy.
he's the dude from The Addams Family and Twin Peaks.
Well, when you're very, distinct like that and
Yeah.
tall and creepy, you're going to be in a lot of stuff. So
But I like that opening scene, and then going into the epilogue-ish stuff. It took me back because first, the actress who portrays Wendy is a lot more good-looking than the actual actress who played her in The Shining. But I just...
shots at Shelley Duvall.
I'm sorry. Come on. Like, she's not the best looker. But, like, for me, I was just, like... Because it opens up with Danny, like, going in the... doing the rounds in the hotel and on his little, like, tricycle.
Big wheel.
Big wheel thing. And I'm like, is this just footage from The Shining? Like, that's what I thought at first. But then, like, it cuts. Not cuts, but, like, he stops and he turns. And I'm like, that doesn't look like Danny. And then, like... the next scene, you like see them, and I'm like, oh fuck, like no, that's not Danny, and that's not Wendy. Like we're recasting them, which I thought was a big ballsy move. That when I think about it, it doesn't pay off for me.
No.
I don't think, and we'll get into obviously the bigger thing that happens in the third act. That I was just like, I can't look at it, but I liked how they explained a little bit more about The Shining and the power, and that he can still appear and be a guide to Danny. And so, I don't know, I enjoyed it, but I guess you are on the opposite end, who did not
No,
like it.
I really hated the first 10 minutes of this movie. but
Typical Connor.
Well, I mean, it's a long ass movie, so 10 minutes isn't that, big of a deal. But I was really afraid going at the start of the movie. I'm like, oh no, please don't let it be just nostalgia overload. Like we know what The Shining is and stuff. But I think my biggest problem with the recasting and stuff like that, and just the epilogue in general, is there's a reason why. I mean, this movie does a pretty good job of separating itself from The Shining.
Oh,
I feel.
definitely. Yeah.
Especially the second act and pretty much everything after the first 10 minutes and before the last 20 minutes. But that was my favorite aspect of the movie is okay, this is a much different feeling movie and it's on its own and it's doing a really good job at it. But in terms of the epilogue, I feel there's a reason why Kubrick ended the film how he ended it.
Yeah, I know.
We don't know how, you know, the aftermath of Danny and Wendy. We don't know how they're feeling. We don't know, you know.
I mean, apparently there was a scene,
and that's why he
infamous
cut the hospital scene.
Yeah.
So seeing this epilogue and like Wendy's like completely fine now.
Yeah, well, that was a
and,
little weird.
You know, I'm like, and I don't like. I just they're so different looking, and they act way different than the original actors. Where I'm just like, I don't like that. Like, you know, you're like, oh, Wendy's
she's tried her
prettier.
best.
She did better than I feel Danny did, because like Danny, the original Danny, is one of the like best child performances, like in my opinion.
I think it's great that
It's
like
so
he had no
amazing.
idea he was filming a horror movie.
Really?
You didn't? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Kubrick like made sure to
Well,
like.
I'm sure he'd be spooked if he did.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
like made sure to like pretend like they were filming. I think it was like a family drama. I think is what
Okay.
he pitched it, or maybe like even like a comedy almost. Like, like because the actor, his name is also Danny.
Yes.
Yeah, he in an interview said that Kubrick told him it was not a horror. Like he never knew it was a horror movie till he saw it.
For the best, I guess. You
Yeah.
don't want, you know, scary images in your head.
And I mean, it's a kid. At the end of the day, you shouldn't fuck kids over
he's
on
like
movies.
What, 5 in that movie. 6,
Yeah. So,
you know?
which there's a scene later where I'm just like, fuck, how is that kid not gonna get like
yeah.
wash
I mean,
himself?
He was in Good Boys, so I feel like, you know.
That's true. He's gonna be.
Oh, Jacob.
Yeah, he's.
I was so surprised when I saw him. I'm like, I had no
I
idea he was in this
honestly,
movie.
I had no idea he was, but then that's when I like really made the connection that Mike Flanagan just is using everybody from his previous films.
What was he in originally?
Before I Wake.
He was in that?
Yep, he's
Oh,
the kid.
okay.
He's the boy in the
Cool.
movie.
I hadn't seen it.
Oh yeah, it's okay. The ending sucks, but other than that, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the only Mike Flanagan film I've seen before this was Gerald's Game. And I didn't see Haunting of Hill House, so.
See, both Gerald's Game and
He made Oculus and Ouija.
Oculus,
Origin of
Ouija,
Evil.
and Hush. I haven't seen those three.
I need to see Hush. Yeah.
Caleb saw Oculus, but both with Gerald's Game and Before I Wake. I loved the movie up to like the last like 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, Gerald's Game has a pretty weak ending. In my
I think the
opinion.
ending should have just ended after the car crash. Like
Yeah.
that would have been a great ending. But anyways, that's for another podcast.
I could have gone back to the Stephen King podcast.
Yeah, I could have.
Whatever.
Shoot, what was I gonna say? So yeah, after that, it's pretty much its own movie,
Thank
and
God.
it's 2011. We are introduced to Ian McGregor, and he's fucking drunk and does cocaine, and
He's got the peak Obi-Wan beard going.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I got some vibes from episode 2 where the dude comes up. What did he want to sell him? What kind of sticks?
Death
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 Sticks.
sticks. Yeah, I kind of like got that vibe when he was in that bar. And
Death Sticks.
he sleeps with the girl, and that was kind of a dark scene.
Cokehead.
Yeah, when he finds out his money's gone, steals her money, and the baby shows up, and you're just like,
baby.
fuck. Like,
Gives him like some Cheez-Its or something.
gives him Cheez-Its, and then, oh, dude, but like that puke, I would have, like, just his reaction, like,
It was like-
leaning over, and like,
yeah, it looked like Jello. It was like, ugh.
it was not
It's like
pleasant.
green Jello.
Which then later on, I think Matt brought it up. Matt or Caleb, is that like, do you think that what he saw was real or just the vision of her? What she already OD'd and then the baby died, and so like when he wakes up in the bed and she's dead and she's like, nobody's seen us in days. Like,
I think that's just like his paranoia.
yeah.
Just
So like you think that she didn't OD?
I mean, she might have, but in terms of like when he's leaving the apartment, I think he's like, "Oh, she'll be fine. Here's the baby. Keep it with the mom." And then just
Yeah.
like it's like in the back of his mind, so that's just like played out in this, you know, horrifying like imagery.
Yeah, I feel like because she was on her side for the most part, or like at least on her stomach,
Yeah.
and the
Well,
puke was on the side of her. She didn't like choke on her puke.
Yeah.
if you've seen Breaking Bad, you know what we're talking about.
Shout out to our international cinemas professor.
Oh, dude, he fucking Angelo loves Breaking
Angelo.
Bad. He literally wrote
Dude,
a book
buy his
about
book,
it. Buy
man.
his fucking book. He reminds us almost every class period. Not to buy it, just that he
Akshay
made
and I
it.
were making fun of him about that, like after we parted ways the other day.
Quick
when he went to
tangent.
your car.
Do you like Angelo?
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. I think
he's not a great professor, but like it's an entertaining class every time.
When I had my meeting with him, like when we, hi Matt, are you bored?
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Neither do our viewers.
Sorry. I just
Yeah,
want
we
to tell
should probably
Connor
have
this.
some background information about who Angelo is.
We're taking an international cinema class. It's French films before the New Wave. And our professor, I think, is Jeff Goldblum, but like with older makeup.
And not as cool.
Yeah, not as cool though.
Yeah.
And he's just the goofiest guy, super fucking awkward. And I was leaving a meeting with him, and like we initiated that the meeting was over, and I was like, okay, so long. And he just kind of like had his arm, like his hand like this. He's like, okay, and just kind of stared at me as I got up, and like I kind of turned and look. I'm like, see you in class tomorrow, and he was just like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, did I do something wrong? And I just like ran.
Dude, I would be so scared.
I wanted you there.
God damn it, Angelo. Get your shit together, man. Just
Anyways,
retire.
back to the movie. I kind of like how he was just a drifter and he just needed to go somewhere, and he went to Covington, Georgia. If you know what Covington, Georgia looks like, though it's not. What was the town called? Tenet?
I don't know.
Tenet?
It was somewhere in the Northeast on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was New Hampshire, but I don't remember
Was
what
it
the
New
town
Hampshire?
was called. But where we meet Cliff Curtis,
Yeah.
aka
The-
Billy in the
yeah.
movie.
Keep going. I'm trying to remember these character names. I'm bad with character
Oh,
names.
so we meet Billy, and Billy he's a fucking good guy. Billy is a good guy. and
This is
he-
his like friend.
yeah,
movie?
that
Okay.
he meets, and
Gotcha.
he's
So
just
he was the one that got him the job and
the
the
job,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
the train
apartment,
guy.
yeah,
Mhm.
and he's just like, hey man, I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna make you a good guy,
Mhm.
and so takes him to
Cool
the
dude.
roof. Would you guys like a chalkboard for a wall?
Nah,
Not really.
I
mean-
wouldn't really have any use of it.
I don't really mind. I mean, if it's there, I'm not going to use it though. Probably. I
Right.
don't like chalk.
Well, yeah.
weird.
Every time like they were writing, I was like,
It was like a dry away. It was like a
It's
dry erase.
everywhere.
Do you guys
Of
remember?
course,
Did
irritating.
you guys remember smartboards?
Yep.
Yeah, they were.
that was
those
like
were
a
all
few
the
years
rage.
ago.
Yeah,
They
those
were-
were all the rage.
If you told me,
in school.
like, do you guys remember overhead projectors? I'd be like, whoa, fucking blast from the past.
But like,
You remember those things where the teacher puts like something on top of the light and it like reflects onto the
Wow,
the
that's almost like an overhead projector.
but it's not an overhead projector.
Oh
It's
fuck,
like-
you're right. I'm dumb. Son of a bitch.
and then you would use like the expo markers. And
Yeah.
then you'd have to like after the like lesson was done, you would take it and have to wipe them
Yeah.
down. Dude, fuck elementary school.
That was like middle school for me. I'm a little bit younger. I guess.
Yeah. But then yeah, smart boards. It would always be great when I would go up to do like a math problem and I would hit the smart board and then the ink would show up like over there. Like
Yep.
I'm like, do you remember like Mr. Volking? Like Volking would always have to recalibrate it, and we all just be like sitting in class just twiddling our thumbs, like, and then he would go to write it and then end up there again, and then you have to recalibrate it again. Oh, it was great.
Just wasting time in class. It's the
Seriously,
best.
like yeah, wasting time in class, and it was like a
Thank you.
double block math, so we had 2 periods of it.
Anyway,
Chalkboard. It's cool, especially if you're an artist. I guess that'd be kind of fun.
or a math guy,
Or a math guy, like I guess the older resident
like the
was.
social network.
Mm-hmm.
Still need to see that.
Now, did he get the job first, or did he go to AA first?
He got the job first.
Okay, so he got the job first,
Well,
and or kind of the same time, pretty much.
he got.
It's like
No, he had the job train, like running the little train.
Yes, but then he went to the
and
AA
then he went
meeting.
to AA. That's when he found the doctor and he shook his hand and he's like, "Oh, hey,
your
you
watch."
left your watch."
Yeah. First, I thought he almost like realized that he was like an addict for like drugs or something, because he kind of was going like this, like he was like itching
Right, I
to
thought
like.
that would have played into something more, but it's just him.
I thought it was
missing his
something
watch.
else. I can't remember what I was thinking it was.
But that is Bruce Greenwood from
Hell yeah.
Gerald's Game,
From Gerald's Game.
and
He's
I
really
remember.
good in that.
I just like when the opening shot, I saw him and I was like, huh. And then like I saw him, I was like, that's him.
It's just extravaganza of Mike Flanagan actors.
Right.
It's great.
He's a really good guy. Caleb and I worked on The Resident season 1.
Oh.
And he
You
was
met him?
Yeah, he was a really
Very
nice
nice.
guy. Sometimes like when it was his time off, he would come into the catering area and just have his guitar and just kind of play it for us, like while we were just like getting like shit ready for lunch. He was a really cool guy. And I love him in the Star Trek movies. He plays like the father figure for Kirk.
Oh. I have not seen the original Star Trek. Or
No, not the original.
2009.
Yeah,
I mean.
yeah.
I mean, like the first
Yeah,
one.
who did that?
Fucking J.J. Abrams.
JJ. That's right. I fucking knew that. Damn it.
Yes.
I was thinking Bryan Singer, but
He made Superman Returns. And X-Men.
I know.
Yeah.
And Usual Suspects.
And
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bo Rap.
Okay.
Boo.
If I'm not mistaken, is his name even in that?
No, I think they took it out.
Yeah, they took it out.
Even though he's like he pretty much directed all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, we go to AA and he gets his 24 hours, which is like, I couldn't even imagine it. Like, I feel really bad for people in AA. Like,
It's hard.
to go like a day, like,
Or just anything that
here
they're
I am
addicted
sipping
to.
a fucking Corona and being like, how could somebody just drink straight liquor out of a bottle like every day?
Like hard liquor.
Like, yeah, just fucking Jack
Whiskey.
Daniels.
Yeah. Dude,
Fuck
Jack
that.
Daniels kills me.
But it was just so awesome to like, because like obviously we all love Ian McGregor.
Mhm.
He's a great man. So to see him at
Hello
like
there.
such like a low point, and then to see him like redeem himself.
Mhm.
Fast forward 8 years.
Now, should we introduce the little girl with the spoon?
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot that there was a younger version of her.
I was like, wow, she's really young here. I don't remember her being that young in the trailer.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, damn, how did they do this?
Time
But it just hired a different girl.
De-aging.
I felt so bad for that magician
Yeah.
because he was just like, let me do this. She's like, I know how to do that. Okay.
Fuck you, little girl. Let me do my job.
But
You
then
guys ever seen The Office?
I have, but I can't quote it as much as
which,
you can.
which-
You know the
scene?
episode where Nellie comes to the office. It's one of the later seasons, and so Dwight and Jim go help her move in, and they realize that like she was like brokenhearted by a magician. So they go back to the office when they're planning the party, and they're just like, "Hey, let's do a normal party." And they're like, "No." So they hire a magician. Magician comes in, and like the magician's like tying her like a rope and stuff, and Jim's like, "That's not the right rope." And he's like, "Come on." And he's like, "You want to shuffle these cards for me?" And he's like, "Sure." And he just like kind of shuffles it and just scatters it everywhere. And the magician just gets super pissed. And I kind of like that's what it reminded me of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was.
You said
insane.
that was in the later seasons.
Mhm. It was one of the ones where fuck, what's his name?
Andy.
No, fucking
James Spader.
Yes.
Robert
Oh,
California.
was okay. So
Robert
it was like
California.
the late, like when Steve Carell left.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Robert California's
I
great.
kind of fell off after Steve Carell left.
Dude, Robert's so funny though.
You don't even fucking know me. I'm the fucking Lizard King.
I'm the fucking lizard king. Great.
But yeah, so
Great scene.
it is interesting that like because like in The Shining, I don't think Jack or Wendy picked up on Danny
No.
as Tony. They didn't understand who Tony. They thought he was an imaginary friend. It's interesting that what's her name? Abra.
Abra. I thought that was really corny.
Abra.
Abra. Like, come
Abra.
on. Come
Cadabra.
on, Steven. Just give her a normal name. God.
That her parents knew that she had special gifts and that they kind of used her in a way. They briefly
The grandmother.
they briefly bring it up where she's like, is grandma gonna be like, is she gonna make it? And
That's a lot of stress for that kid. Like,
well, yeah, I felt
don't
so
wanna
bad
tell
when
you.
she was just like, I don't know, like she
Yeah.
just didn't want to do
Like,
it.
she knows,
Yeah.
but,
She knows that. I mean, we never know, but it's probably in the book.
Sorry,
Have you read the book?
We don't read.
No. Okay. No. Yeah. Fuck that. Look at these books. These are all Stephen
King
books.
is just a
He's a fucking madman.
just a pile of cocaine.
Have you read all four of these that are on here?
I've read Under the Dome. I've read Bizarre Bad Dreams. I've started Firestarter. Didn't finish it, and then I started The Outsider, and it got really fucked up. And I would go back to it. I don't read anymore.
Damn, that's sad.
Eventually, when I get more free time,
Yeah.
I'll start reading more.
I would like to read.
Yeah.
It's just
I used to
fucking
read all the time as a
dyslexic
kid,
ass.
but
And I'll read the same sentence like 7 times.
Are you really dyslexic? Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. I think I need that.
But yeah, so we're introduced to her, and then so then we get the jump, and it was like the perfect
8 years is a long time.
sum up of Danny coming to terms with his father.
Yes.
I love that scene. It might be one of my favorite scenes in the movie because it was like you were getting closure for kind of their relationship and how the abuse and the alcohols, how he remembered his father, so that's why he did it. So there was reasoning behind why he was a drunk in 2011. and I love that scene. It probably is. It might be my favorite scene.
There's a lot of really good scenes in here.
Yeah, it was a really good scene. And like, dude, Ian McGregor just fucking kills it in this.
And that's something you really don't think about because, like, you know, you're watching The Shining, and like, not only is like this little boy seeing all these horrible events and these creatures and everything, but his own dad is, you know, drunk, abusive. He turns fucking batshit crazy, tries to kill him and his mom, and then, you know,
like he's witnessing all of this.
Yeah, like couple that with the fact that like this hotel is trying to fucking murder you.
Yeah, it's
That's
fucked
a little
up.
Much.
There's a reason why I didn't want to go back to the Overlook.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But then, so we'll stop there because I totally forgot that. What's up?
I was gonna mention the rattlesnake lady.
We're gonna
jump.
Which is crazy that like there's pretty much two just major storylines going on, and then eventually they intertwine. But
that's what makes a good villain, you know. Good villain presence is you beef him up.
That's why Infinity War is great, you know, because
Thanos, you know what's
Thanos
happening.
got the most screen time.
You know
and that's
what
pretty
their
insane.
Fucking motivations are, you know.
And so we get the scene with I didn't recognize her, the really short blonde haired girl.
Yeah, I don't think she's in a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, is she even in like a Mike Flanagan movie? And we get the Plaza. If you've ever been to the Plaza, that was it.
She has not been in a Mike Flanagan.
No.
She's been in Lights Out.
I've seen that.
And The Babysitter on Netflix, and Enter the Void, Gaspar Noé.
Did you recognize that was the Plaza?
That was what?
The Plaza? Where they're watching Casablanca.
No,
that's
they
the
did
Plaza.
not film that there.
Yeah, that's the Plaza,
God
dude.
damn it, I didn't even notice that. That's dope. God, that's cool.
Dude, fucking casual. Yeah, they're watching Casablanca.
Dude, hell yeah, the Plaza, man.
And Rebecca Ferguson, what's her character's name?
Something the Hat.
Yeah, Rose the Hat.
Rose the Hat.
And then the Crow, kind of like her boyfriend.
He was cool.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He gave me strong Johnny Depp vibes. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, wow, I didn't really think about that. Yeah,
if Johnny Depp wasn't a piece of shit, like they would have given him this role probably, but you know, whatever.
And then I like how they like were hunting her. Like they found out about her, but they're like, she's gonna join us because she's evil.
Yeah, and they've been like the guy's been watching her. Like
he's like,
what
watch
tricks? He's like amazed.
Next.
Yeah. So she's pretty strong. Don't they imply that she's like
yeah, she's
stronger
strong
than most of them,
and she can control it. Like she knows how to like use it.
I think that's the thing is like this movie kind of showed us something about the shining aspects of people. Like
like way more than the Shining.
Because like, you know, you have people who shine, but then you have people who are considered lookers and people who can turn people and make them do what they want. And we didn't really get a whole lot of like other stuff from like what the other people could do, and like I still really don't know what like Danny can do either, because he just, you know.
Well, it seems like they can do a lot because like there is a moment where he's like, I'm gonna try this new trick. Like it seems like if like they want to think of something
there
to
aren't
use
many
it,
rules.
Yeah, they can just do something.
If they try hard enough, I guess they can accomplish an idea or a trick or something.
But that was a really good scene because. Like, at first, I was just like, why is this girl with this dude? Like, there's no way. Like, something's going on.
It's implied she's, like, 15.
Yeah, she's definitely not. But
she was born in 2002, apparently.
Fuck, no way.
Yeah, that's what it says on Letterboxd.
All right, you guys are going to take this podcast. I'm out of here.
There's no way.
Oh, jeez.
Andrew.
Hollywood makes people look older.
That means she would probably film this, like, 16 then. Probably.
Really?
Yeah, if it's 02.
I mean... The girl who played Dora the Explorer was...
Was she older?
No, I think she was 17 when they filmed it.
Okay.
So...
Well, she's legal now.
Anyways, it was a really...
Well, you don't want to talk about Dora the Explorer? Walking around with them thick-ass cheeks and those tight little shorts.
I was more looking at boots.
He didn't even have boots
let
originally.
the record show Connor's into bestiality.
Oh. Yikes. This is a good time to come out about my bestiality.
Yes. It is on the record.
This is going to come back when Connor is a successful critic on Rotten Tomatoes.
Clip it.
Oh, I'm going to be the one to fucking leak it.
Good. WikiLeaks.
But yeah, so she goes out and they kind of like tell her, like, at first I thought they were going to kill her. Like they were impressed what she could do. But like they also kind of feared her, so that's why I thought they were going to take her out. But then she joins the dark side, and we get the really cool beach scene where they like make her one of them, And I don't know, they seemed like they lived a chill life. They were off the grid. They were just roaming around, killing
driving
kids.
around RVs and vans and shit.
So, I have something that I thought was kind of dumb with the beach scene. So, you know how they had those containers where they kept the screams of the children and everything? So, the one that they used to turn her was Violet, which was the name of the kid in the very beginning of the movie where they killed.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem I have with that is that they killed her in 1980.
Right.
It's now currently, at this point, 2011. So that's like 31 years.
31 years, yeah.
How do you...
So they just kept her.
Yeah, which is like that's just like... I mean, I get it, but it's also just like later in the movie they were just talking about like how they were just running out of like screams and stuff.
Right.
It's just like
wouldn't you be using shit that was, captured in 1980 by now?
So it's like, why would you use Violet's back from 19... Like, that should be gone.
Yeah, because recognizable like you saw it in the beginning.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to connect it. Because maybe, like, just in case if people didn't know what happened to that girl, like...
Well, I didn't know that they made her into dust until, like, they introduced, like, oh, this is Violet. And,
yeah, like, I mean... obviously we knew she died,
what did
but
they
like...
call it? They called it something.
Shit.
So, like, The Mist or some shit like that? Whatever.
Another Stephen King book.
That would be fine if they called it The Mist.
Steam?
Maybe Steam.
Yeah, maybe it was
I
Steam.
think it was Steam. Whatever.
No, but like...
Saw it yesterday.
Like, obviously they killed her, but we don't see until the scene with Jacob what, like, they actually do.
Yeah, that was rough.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But...
God, Jacob Tremblay, I'm so sorry.
Just the little room, kid.
Hello, room.
It's so we get that scene and I kind of like the fact that she's 15, so she's very naive. Like she thinks she's all that, and Rebecca Ferguson says like, you're gonna live a long life, and then like the next scene she's like, I thought you said we were immortal. She's like, no, long life. Like,
well, she doesn't say that like the next scene. That's
not
like
later on, but like I like that aspect that like. Because, like, you almost think that, like, oh, yeah, now they're vampires. But they're not really. They're kind of like vampires in a way. Mm-hmm. But I like that element that, like, because, I mean, the grandpa, dude, like, they go back to, like, the Roman.
Yeah,
like, the Colosseum.
Like, the kings and,
they wrote, like, folk tales and stories about you and statues.
Like
and I'm
500 years.
Like, that's fucking cool if you could live 500 years and be a lot of legends for people.
What was a creepy effect was whenever he was dying.
Oh, that was
good. Glitched like, oh god.
Yeah, the skin like got dark and like sucked in. It was really good. I like that a lot. That was a
creepy effect.
So I guess this is like when it starts to pick up when E. McGregor is chilling at the nursing hospital. And we get the most adorable, cutest fucking cat.
The cutest cat on this planet.
That fucking cat.
It was adorable.
It was
adorable. It had like blue eyes and everything.
The shot when they're singing the Fly With Me song, and it's just in between the guy's legs, and he's just looking right up, and I was like, I love you. You're adorable.
That's probably one of my favorite scenes was the first time he's like introduces Dr. Sleep. That's probably my favorite scene in the movie, actually.
It was a really good scene and
just so wholesome. It's just like, he's given like a great purpose, to use his power, and that's like really nice.
And you feel so happy that like he found purpose finally. Like it took him a long time, but he finally found purpose.
Like he's got on his feet.
Yeah,
he's in a good place, like vibe wise. Really nice town, and like just.
It's good, and so like we're like, okay, this character's here. Obviously, he's not going to last here long because the story's got to progress, and that's when he gets his pen pal. So Uncle Dan and Abra, they start.
He gets a little hello.
He gets a little hello, and then he replies school or something, and he just sends words, but obviously he doesn't speak to her. He doesn't want to use that part of it.
Yeah, like evoke his powers. Yeah. He doesn't want to awaken that.
I'm trying to think. So not yet. So she hasn't found him yet because I guess fuck it, we'll talk about it. Jacob. What was his name? Blake?
Something like that.
Number 12.
Baseball player.
Yeah. 18? 19. Yeah, number 19. And you're wondering, the original Danny from The Shining.
Was he the guy that was like, "Oh, this kid can hit anything"?
That
All
was
right.
him.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool.
He made a cameo as the guy that was like, this guy's gonna make it.
His
This-
role is like baseball. And what's it?
Yeah, it began with a C, right? Commentator.
No,
No, conductor.
Whatever.
I don't
Yes,
know.
keep
That's a
going.
bullshit word.
Conductor, choo choo, all aboard the
Hey,
baseball
train! There's a train in the movie.
So yeah, we get the scene and
Baseball spectator.
spectator. That's it. And then I mean, obviously, when you see a young little boy walking in a cornfield,
He's
pretty
hitting like
much.
he's batting like 1,000 because he knows what the pitcher's
Yeah.
throwing. It's so funny.
But when he's alone walking down the street, like you're just like, fuck, this kid's
You're like,
gone.
dude, where's your parents?
Right?
Jason was like that.
It's Idaho.
Yeah, it's true. Like they don't really have to worry, but like
yeah, it's a small town, you know.
Jason was like, dude, what are you doing? He's just like walking.
like I
in.
kind of I get it, you know. In Sycamore, like back in the day, like you know, we would just
Yeah, you can't do that shit over here.
and now. So yeah, and it sucked because like obviously that kid was not going to do it, but since the rattlesnake girl was there, have you seen Jessica? No, you don't. You don't watch TV shows. In the first season, there's this guy called the Purple Man, I think, and his power is he can say whatever he says to you and you'll do it. So he's just like, go rob that bank.
Yeah.
You'll go rob that bank for him. So like,
It's like
I will be
Jedi.
right back.
okay,
It's like Jedi mind tricks.
yeah,
you know?
pretty much like an intense version of that.
There's a lot of like force vibes with these powers in this movie.
Oh, definitely.
So it's like pretty dope.
Okay. So
The lighting.
I know the lighting's really bad right now.
Sorry. Anyway.
Matt will be back.
Gotta take a little break.
It's all part of the plan.
Here we go. Keep it rolling.
So yeah, they capture him, and I mean, it's a Stephen King book, but I kind of thought the kid was gonna make it.
No.
No, I knew
It's
he
rated
wasn't gonna
R.
make
It's
it.
like
yeah.
I didn't think it'd be that gruesome.
Well, yeah, like
But I'm like, they keep cutting to him and just more blood and blood.
yeah,
I'm like,
it was.
oh my god,
honestly,
Jacob, get out of there.
might be one of the most uncomfortable scenes I've seen this year.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing, and the reason why it's so uncomfortable is because he's such a good actor.
Oh, he's such a good actor.
He's definitely one of the best younger actors of his generation. So it's like his
You-
actual cries
you
are
believe
genuine.
he was like fucking dying. Like,
Unlike, like fucking the kid that played Danny in the beginning. Like I could not buy him. He was so bad. I'm like,
yeah, he just
his eye movements were so bad. Like he's like distracted by the cameras. Like you can tell. It's
like
bad.
this Jacob kid, like.
I hope he doesn't come out ugly. I hope he's pretty.
Well, I
Unlike what's his
I-
name from Sixth Sense?
Haley Joel Osment.
Joel Osment.
I really hope that this kid gets some serious movies under his belt.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Broom is a good start.
It's a good start, but
But
like
that was also like 4 years ago.
yeah,
so.
he needs because after that he's done like a voice for a movie.
He did Wonder.
Yeah, he did Wonder.
He was pretty good in it. He was not my actually favorite child actor performance in that movie. His like friend was. His friend is in Honey Boy. He's going to be the main character. Noah
okay.
Jupe. I think that's his name. Shout out to Noah Jupe.
No, but I was just saying like he could possibly be like a
Prodigy.
Leo.
Yeah.
Like he could be a next Leo, like
Or like Christian Bale. He
or
was in,
Christian
like-
Bale
yeah.
or Ryan Gosling. Even though Ryan Gosling kind of had like a bumpy start, like
I think like what you said, he just needs to get better.
he need come on,
Roles.
fucking Good Boys. Like
That's a good paycheck.
it's a
though.
good paycheck. It's a good like
His family needs to eat.
yeah. They need to eat like filet mignon.
I'm sure he got plenty of that with this movie and Good Boys. So
Yeah. But yeah, so they fucking devour him.
it's rough.
It is a rough scene, and it goes on. Like you said, like it cuts back to him, more blood.
And
more blood.
And Abra screaming her fucking eyes out. You know, like
Oh, that was rough too. Like her experience it, like her power is so strong she couldn't like
these are all children, by the way.
Yeah,
so
they're all
just imagine your
children.
like 12-year-old self experiencing this shit.
yeah, like feeling the pain and seeing it,
Yeah.
and it's just really fucking sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, but she can fucking read minds. Like that's
She's
pretty
powerful.
She's
But-
powerful.
I just wanted to mention, since we haven't mentioned it yet, her and the main villain lady, probably Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson. Oh, she's a
Definitely
fucking
my
babe.
two favorite performances. In this
Yo,
movie.
the girl was fucking amazing.
She was so good.
She
Yeah.
was so good.
I was like, oh god, a lot rides on like child performances, but like she hasn't been in anything. I don't
yeah,
think.
she was in one movie.
But it was like,
It's a nobody movie.
yeah,
it's like an
a-
indie film that
probably
nobody
her
saw.
like uncle made it or something.
Yeah, like she just probably fucking killed it. Like Mike
Dude.
Flanagan saw her and he was like,
They found this girl and she is awesome.
Yeah, I hope she has a promising career.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope she gets a lot of stuff after this. I hope she doesn't get picked up for like a Disney TV show on Disney Plus or something.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because they're just making
Disney Plus. I mean, they got money. They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. So that is like where the storyline that is going to eventually connect everybody kicks into gear. Like that's when
there's urgency.
Yeah, there's urgency. The girl, she's doing research for missing children, and she can literally like go back in time in her mind and like, and then like also
it's through the glove, right?
No, because she doesn't even have the glove. She just is like holding that piece of paper, and she just like somehow gets into the scene, and that's when she like starts writing down the sign of the abandoned like mill.
The white eyes kind of really creeped me out.
No, the shot that creeped me out is when she had no eyes.
In the vision,
yeah,
or like the fake out or whatever.
No, but yeah, so she like uses her power, she finds the place, and then does she go to meet Ian?
Yes. No. Well.
Ian. I think he's like, oh no, leave this alone, blah 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 blah, and then eventually she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go over there and see him.
She gets off the bus, she like walks up, she's like, and she just kind of like says to her mind like, hi.
This is
he
me.
just looks at her and
he's like, dude, I'm in the middle of my shift.
I like how they brought up. He's just like, this doesn't look good. Like a guy like me, a girl like you, like this.
I guess it worked out. She's like, oh, you could be my uncle because I have a white mom.
Yeah, there you go.
I was really hoping she would say like, because I have a white mom, because that would have just been kind of funny.
That's what she applied.
Yeah, but that would have been funny if
straight up just
my mom's white. It would make sense. And I mean, obviously, it's rough because like you know what she saw, and you know, Danny, Ian McGregor, just like, he's like, nah, like, he's like, just hide it, pretend like it never existed. Like, you don't need to meet these people. They're mean. They will hurt you. And you're obviously just like, no, come on, let's go. Let's move the story. Let's just keep going. But obviously, they don't. She leaves. And how does he have the realization that he needs to do it?
I think he just ends up saying,
oh no, he was at the hospice one night. Cat comes up.
Oh, right.
He runs into the room and he's like, no, you idiot, there's nobody there. You got your wires mixed up.
Yeah.
He walks in, he sees a black silhouette.
Like, oh no.
And he like, she's like, and he like starts getting a box ready to open. And he walks out and he's like, whoa. Don't do that to me. I'm a friend. And he's like,
I love how many boxes they show, like when he's like way older and it's like 12 and you see how far they go.
I also really like the fact that the background of where the boxes were was in the maze. Like, in the snow and everything.
Just like his worst fear, just buried.
Like, since we're on the topic of like that and like the mind areas of these like people, like the Rebecca Ferguson's character, the little girls, and Danny's, they were all different and they were all very unique.
Yes.
Like Rebecca Ferguson's was a literal cathedral with just thousands of cabinets of just memories and information and things. The little girl's was just basically her room with just bunches of cabinets because she spends a lot of cabinets. She spends a lot of time in her room.
Right.
Danny's was probably the coolest when it was the overlook, like main lobby, and then there's just like the staircase and the cabinets on either side. I thought that was just so cool, but it was also just really neat because it was unique to either like all of them.
Yeah, it's good. Visuals. Like the building of characters too, just like characterization is really good, and that's what you can give Stephen King credit for. It's just like you're not gonna have really bland characters.
No, you're gonna have very,
especially if they're adapted well into really
sometimes they can be
movies
on screen.
So good for Mike Flanagan trying to adapt that.
So he has that conversation and he goes bye. That's his last time. He's gonna kind of mentor him. It's like, when
the passing of the torch eventually.
And so pretty much he says like, you have to be a mentor for the next generation. You have to help somebody like I helped you embrace your shining. And so he's like, fuck it, guess we're gonna go find this kid. And
I mean, he doesn't really have much to live for. That's the thing. That's what makes him endearing, is because like he's suffered through so much shit in his adult years, and like there's so like you said, eventually towards the end where he's like finally has that moment with his dad, and he's just like, I can let it go. Like this isn't gonna bother me anymore. Like really good character moments for Danny because he doesn't have a lot to do in the original. He's a kid. It's mainly just he's used as the crux for like the horrific side of the story.
One thing before we continue, I totally forgot. It was interesting that Mike Flanagan really like recreated the interview with Jack Nicholson getting hired.
Yes.
And Bruce Greenwood and Ian McGregor getting hired.
Mm.
It's literally like the same color, the same setup, the same
No,
shots.
I didn't notice that until I read about it.
Really? You
after
didn't?
the movie.
Yeah, no, I saw like the first shot and I'm like, that's The Shining. And then like how Ian McGregor was placed, how Bruce Greenwood, I'm like, he's literally, I want to know why they made, like he literally wanted, like, is that like his favorite scene in the movie
It's
or
an
something?
homage. I mean,
You
why
think
not?
so?
Yeah.
I thought like I thought that would be
Might as well make
more.
it interesting. Like
Yeah.
your hired scene. I mean, that could be pretty bland. So like having a little.
And it's a pretty good
wink,
scene
wink,
in The Shining, because obviously that's where like the guy spiels all the horror that's happened in the past.
Some great like acting from Jack Nicholson in that scene. Just like
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm ecstatic.
It
yeah,
won't
my
bother
wife,
me.
Yeah.
But then bouncing back, he goes down to his buddy Billy, and he's like, "I gotta tell you some shit. You're not gonna believe it, but I gotta tell you some shit."
Why did he have to bring him along? You know he's gonna die eventually.
I didn't think he was gonna die.
All these
honestly.
superpower people, like, come on. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean,
this poor guy.
Well, yeah, but then like
he's so fucking good though. He's such a good guy.
like I don't know. At the time being, I didn't think he was gonna die because I thought, I mean, he was able to hold his own for the most part.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jump ahead yet because
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean,
I get where you're going. Yeah.
yeah, but
Then we get the really good humor when he's like, either you're crazy
He's like-
and like I can deal with crazy, or this is real. And I'm like,
All the scenes involving like Danny talking to Abra.
yeah, and
It's
he's
like-
just giving the
he
look.
was just like, is she here? And he's like, oh yeah.
dude, that tripped me the fuck out. If I was
Right? Like if he was talking
Be
to
like,
her and he had
"Stop
no
messing-
idea.
messing with me.
And that was a really good moment for him where he talks about deer hunting and like why he quit deer hunting because of that smell. And then he was like, this is that same smell. And I was like, oh, goosebumps. Like that was like a really good story to tell. Like that was Stephen King shit right there. Like only he could like think of a story like that where it was very just unpleasant.
I felt like that story was like a little rushed in my opinion because I was like,
I felt like it was pretty predictable.
yeah.
Like he's like, I was hunting this deer. I'm like,
I was
okay,
like,
blah,
man,
blah, blah.
this story
You-
came out of nowhere.
You find it, bury it or something, and you'd get turned off by the smell. So you're like, done. I'm done hunting. So like that. I mean, to me, it was just like, come on.
It's like, well, and then that ties into like he's good at hunting because he used to hunt deer.
Yeah.
I thought it was good character development.
I
said
also-
deers. My bad.
After like 10 minutes down the line, I was like, okay, maybe it makes sense why they brought it up because they're like, oh, we gotta make a stop. Billy's like, where? And he's like, you still got those hunting rifles? And it's like, okay, I see why you brought it up now.
Good little ties here and there, I
Yeah.
guess.
But I mean, poor Jacob. They dig up his body, take the glove, and that's it. His body's just still there.
Because didn't Abra want them to find the body so they could tell the parents?
I thought they wanted it to
Because
get
it's
the
a
glove.
missing child. Well, yes, that's the main thing. But Abra was like, no, we need him. We need the parents to know where he is and then where he died, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but like, how do you?
Yeah, like you call the cops like, oh, we stumbled on this dead
Yeah.
body.
And,
And then also,
we want you to come in for some fucking questions.
Their boots are there. The
Yeah.
tire marks are like it was just. It kind of
It's
was
like,
just
how
like
do you
they're
know
kinda
where this body is?
shooting themselves in the foot there.
I guess someone will stumble upon it someday.
But they get the glove, and then we get a really good scene where any dad would be like this. If your little daughter is calling somebody uncle,
There's a lot of pedophilia, vibes. going
yeah,
on.
you're just like
It's like,
that's
it's
a little,
understandable.
a little fucked up.
Yeah,
And
like why are you talking to my fucking daughter?
but then she uses her ability. Another ability that she uses is to put flashes of the images into her dad's head.
Yes.
To be like, hey, this is what happened, and then a very comedic scene.
The liquor.
Yeah, I don't know what it
Oh,
was.
dude, my audience was laughing so hard during
were too.
the cuts.
We weren't like laughing like super hard.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, we were chuckling.
everybody like we had a really good theater experience. It was probably one of the best ones this year.
I think it's because it was so late. It's
Well, like
fucking-
for us,
for me, like my crowd was just like half really excited and half like, all right, let's just watch this movie because it was like 10 p.m.
Yeah, ours
whatever.
was 6, so we actually had an older kind of demographic. I didn't really get to scout everybody, but I definitely think we were probably one of the youngest in the theater at the time.
Oh, I'd say me and Jason were too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's older people there.
Yeah, like I saw at least 2 older couples, and like
old.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like I said in the initial reaction, like how cool it must have been because they were probably there
Oh,
when
yeah,
they saw
Shining.
like The Shining,
That'd be so
and now like 30, 40 years later they get to watch
Mhm.
Doctor
They've
Sleep.
stuck around long enough to find
40
finally-
years in the making.
finally
Yeah,
see
good job
a
of not
sequel.
dying, you guys.
You made it.
So, so we get that comedic scene, and
Mhm.
the dad's on board. He's realizing what's going on and what they got to do.
This poor guy.
They have this elaborate plan to lead them into a forest,
Mm.
and
They're gonna pull a trick on them.
gonna pull a trick on them.
And then before that, we cut to the 2 main villains, and they're like, "Oh, trust me, I have a trick up my sleeve too." So some shit would eventually
Yeah.
go down with him.
Oh fuck! But we gotta. Sorry, this was a long.
It's a long movie. It's a lot of
and so like we're
a
kind
lot
of
of bouncing around.
we're bouncing around because like we're not really focusing on Rebecca Ferguson's story.
Mm.
Like, obviously you see it in the trailer when she's so like obviously when they're murdering Jacob, she feels like somebody's watching them. I forgot to say that.
Oh, we are we talking about the grocery store scene?
No, we're talking about when Jacob's getting murdered.
Yep.
She feels like somebody's watching.
Oh,
them.
right. Yeah.
And so like everybody's like sucking in his steam. Like she's looking around like, who the fuck is that? Like watching me.
Mm-hmm.
And so she fell to power. So she got curious, and then she is in the shopping center, and she's strolling around, and there's that really cool shot where like her hand like grabs like Abra's head, and like what was really cool is when she looked at the
milk,
the window, the milk
Yeah.
window, and saw her, and she's like, oh well, hello there.
Hello there.
Also, it was a really cool shot when Abra was looking up, and then like it was her, and then she looked down, and then it was Rebecca's hands. So it was like Abra was inside of her,
Mhm.
viewing her like
Yeah.
POV. But she gets
some
pushed.
some cool little
She gets
shots
pushed,
here
and then she gets pushed again, and then probably my favorite extra interaction because I used to be I used to
were
work
you
at grocery
okay?
grocery stores, and so like that attitude, it's just like, are you okay? And then just walk away because you really don't care about any customer.
Well, she was
ever.
gonna get her a hat. She's like, no,
Yeah.
fuck off. I'm gonna get that. It's like, oh, sorry.
But dude, that was just me. Like every time somebody would be like, "Hey, do you have this?" Like, because I used to work in frozen dairy with Caleb and Hy-Vee, and they're like, "Hey, do you have this like ice cream?" I'd go walk back there, look at my phone, go back out. No, sorry, we don't. Like,
Fucking
because I didn't
bitch.
give a fucking shit about you guys. Sorry, Hy-Vee customers and Hy-Vee in general. Employee own my ass.
HIV, like
Yeah.
HIV.
Yeah, but he's talking about
HYVE.
he's talking about grocery stores, not our YouTube subscribers, because we love you guys.
So then she like starts getting freaked out because she's like, we gotta kill this bitch. Because the crow's like, do we bring her? And she's like, no, like she could destroy us. We gotta kill her.
Well, she's only upset whenever she tries to go into an Abra's house and stuff. That's when she gets really pissed
Oh, that's when
off.
she gets really pissed off.
Yeah, because
okay,
they're fucking another Mike. Mike Flanagan has this obsession with fucking tearing people's hands apart for some fucking reason. It's so uncomfortable.
That
But
was a disturbing scene.
like Gerald's gave us like the most gruesome thing.
That was some good imagery
the
though,
hand-
when
the
she was
handcuff.
flying and she
Oh
was
my
like
God, that was
sailing
so
over
cool.
the
That was
clouds,
wild,
and then she
yeah.
like flew down.
A lot of money went into this movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of money in
I
this
was like,
movie.
holy shit, this is a big ass budget.
And that's when we get the really creepy shot that I was talking about, where obviously she's hiding under the bed, but like it's kind of implied that she's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like sitting up, and like her eyes is just skin.
Yeah.
That was fucking terrifying. And she gets into her mind.
She
we
starts
ever-
like rifling through her stuff.
Yeah. Did we ever find out what she found?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah. I don't.
I think she's just trying to figure out everything about her.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck you, and closes the damn
And
drawer on her.
that was crazy that like that effect, like it affected her, like her body.
Mm-hmm.
And like when she like flings back into herself and like falls off the RV.
Yeah, that was a rough fall.
Yeah, that was like legit. I was like, this movie's so good. I think that might have been like the time where I leaned over to Matt. I was like, this is such a good movie.
There's no bullshit like injuries.
Yeah. So then that's when she's
That's
like,
when she's like, fuck her. We
Yeah.
gotta find her. We gotta kill her. And he's like, whoa, okay, you're being irrational. I mean, we should, think about this.
And then Grandpa dies, and that's the same scene. Rip him. And then that's like when I like how they just kind of like turn into steam, and then they all go like they're still vicious. Like they go to like get the weak
they're like
steam.
animals, dude, like a pack of wolves or something.
But then the pack leaves Rebecca behind because she might have information on her. So they're like, "Hey, stay here. We're gonna go get the girl
because she
back."
could follow her."
Yeah. But little do they know, they have the glove, so they can follow the fat bearded dude. And so now we're caught up. We're back to where we were going.
All right, here we go.
In the woods, and everybody's creeping on her. She's just, doing some meditating.
Yeah.
And Rattlesnake Girl goes to just in the neck,
syringe her,
and it's a little bunny. And I was like, oh. Like,
it's a little stuffed animal.
Like, I didn't know
when she
what
first got her. I was like, oh fuck, what?
I was like, what are you doing? But then like it was the bunny. I was like,
yeah,
genius. See that coming?
The old switcheroo.
Well, I didn't see the bunny.
Don't act like you saw it coming.
I did.
Fuck
I didn't know it was gonna be the bunny.
Connor.
Well, I knew it was gonna be a
fake, but like not the bunny.
Connor, look at me. Fuck you.
Okay.
I like when they did it, I was like, it was not that easy, but like I didn't know what it was gonna be, like a mirror effect or like I don't know, but like I just knew it wasn't that easy.
Total Recall stuff.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
It's recall, not recall.
Pikachu.
Oh no.
Oh my
Pikachu.
God.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Shops and Shaw.
You actually said it right.
No, I didn't.
Hobbs
did.
and Shaw.
You said
say
Hobbs
Hobbs
and
and Saw.
Saw it, motherfucker. When I want to say it wrong, I say it right, and then the opposite.
Or Ian McGregor.
Ian.
Ewan.
Dude, tomato, Titanic. It's all the same thing. So, anyways,
Now you see where
Connor
I am.
with an E.
Shout out to Popeyes, man.
We get a shootout. That's what happens next.
Popeyes?
Yes. Ooh.
I gotta shoot at it.
If that
Dude, Popeyes has got me feeling.
knock on some wood, guys. Let's. There was a stabbing. We don't need a shootout next.
I mean, the chicken sandwich is
Dude,
to
it's
stab
good.
for.
There was a stabbing at a Popeyes?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
That's why we were making all the jokes about
He's like,
the
oh, I hope we don't
stabbing."
get stabbed.
I didn't hear any of that.
There was
He
a
said it
stabbing.
like 10 times.
Well, yeah, because I didn't get to finish my story, but I was telling you guys how I was talking to some chick who lives in Fayetteville.
Oh, right, yeah.
And she like drove past like a Popeyes, and she's like, "Yeah, there's a cop here too." I'm like, "That's fucking funny because we're at Popeyes and there's a cop here too."
That's why.
I didn't know.
Is that the reason why, or is it just to
I'm
make
pretty
sure
sure.
no
Well,
one
like, yeah.
goes fucking berserk in this Popeyes?
I mean, yeah, it's like they're there for safety, obviously, but
For Popeye.
But it's just more like, hey, you get to sit in front of a Popeyes and just kind of get
nothing.
paid to do nothing.
Yeah, easy money.
at least if you get a chicken sandwich, that's all. It's a win-win then, because that chicken sandwich,
Legit.
it's legit. It will live up to the hype. It's huge. No, so dude, everybody gets fucking killed in this shootout.
Yeah, so that was what Chris Stuckman was. That was his big gripe, was that scene, because it was
Really?
like too actiony. Remember, he's like, there was a scene that was too actiony, and that's what it was. Because there was so much like gunfire with all these like a movie about science fiction like powers and stuff. So it's like that's understandable, but
then you get the sadly, you get a little sci-fi into it where she's dying, and she, with her last breath, says, "Kill yourself," and Billy kills himself.
what did that remind me of?
Dude, that's
That
so
reminded me
fucking
of something.
sad.
Another movie. I don't remember.
Like, I wonder if he was able to grab the gun if he still would try to kill himself for like ever, or
That reminded me of Get Out, because remember in the end of Get Out, spoilers, sorry, you
it
probably
came
seen
out like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
almost 3.
it's like the most popular movie of the last few years. But at the end, when he flashes the grandpa and he's like back to his normal self.
Oh, yeah,
and
he
kills
just-
him. Yeah, and he
Yeah,
kills
just-
himself. He's like,
yeah.
no. That's what it reminded me of. So,
Yeah, I can see that.
mhm.
But dude, yeah, that was sad. Like, it makes sense,
I hate that's how he went out.
Yeah, Matt was
wasn't
like
a sacrifice.
Matt was fucking devastated.
He saved him, but like
He was
that's
like-
such a cop out.
He was
like,
one of
death.
the most wholesome parts of the entire
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
because he's like the main reason why Danny is where he's at in life, like how he hasn't like completely
Like Danny comes
died.
to his room at 4 a.m. and he's like, "What the fuck is up?" And he's like, "I gotta tell you a story about my whole entire life." And then we have to go to Idaho, and he's like, all right, fine, just let me put on some pants.
Let me pack.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I want him to be my friend.
But then, like, you know, she was like, kill yourself. And, like, you can just kind of see that he was like, fuck, I'm doing it, son of a bitch. And he just blows his head off.
And it happens
you
in like
couldn't
3
do
seconds.
anything.
Like,
you know?
One little tiny detail that I really loved was that they put a little bit of pop blood vessels in one of his eyes, so that it really just kind of added to that whole. Like it was really.
I think I can picture that now.
It was a really small detail, and like you know, you kind of had to like look for it, but like I don't know, it was just
Practical effects go a long way.
yeah.
Yeah. But it was just really sad because obviously you didn't want him to die.
No.
And like Connor said, he was going to die. Because he would have felt definitely out of place where they end up next.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't see the dad dying.
No.
I
I
didn't
did
either.
not see that coming. So,
I mean,
which was
when I
felt
saw his
more
body,
sad.
I was like, damn, he's dead. Like,
I just thought he was asleep.
yeah.
because I always had that in the back of my mind. I was like, what are they gonna do? What is the crow gonna do to like get back at them? Because he's like, oh, I have my own trick in my sleeve.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we go back to the house. Cuts back to the house. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Wasn't the crow in the forest?
Yeah, but I think he jumps. Maybe he used the bunny, and that's what sent him back to the house or something.
Ooh.
Maybe,
yeah.
I'll need a rewatch, but
No, because I think that they had intended to use the bunny, because like you know when they left, they like looked at the bunny, and then like you know it cut to them being in the forest or them driving to the forest. So I think Danny had the plan to swap out Abra with the bunny and just kind of project that the bunny was Abra. But it's just like maybe the crow projected himself as being there too while he was really on his way to Abra's house.
was the crow
Yeah, because
in that scene?
Abra wasn't even there.
In what scene?
In the forest scene? I'm pretty sure he was.
That's what I thought, because I feel like he was.
But like,
But yeah.
if anything, he was like
I feel
chilling.
like that's a big detail.
He was like chilling in the car or something. Like he stayed inside. I'm
because
pretty sure.
Abra doesn't get the news that her dad is dead until she wakes up like handcuffed into the or like double seat belted into the car.
Yeah,
or
because
whatever.
the crow went to her house because that's where the dad and Abra still were. Like the only two that were at the forest were Billy and Danny.
right, Abra was still there.
So she projected herself
Right,
onto
right,
the bunny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So she wasn't in the forest.
So then
No, yeah,
it's,
no,
it's
she wasn't.
possible that the
Right.
crow projected himself into the forest, and then like when shit
right,
Yeah.
started
okay,
going down,
that would make more sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, oh, you got us. Oh, you got us. Oh, well, I got you. I got your.
well,
Yeah.
then it's also just like, oh, during all the confusion, like this is my time to go.
Mhm.
And that was a really good scene when they're having dialogue back and forth, and he was like, it's a shame that like people had to die because we came to the same result. Like, I still got you.
I
But
mean, by
people didn't have
by
to
body
die.
counts, the bad guys definitely lost.
They
It
definitely
was
lost,
like 8-2.
but like she lost her dad. Like
That's big.
that's big. That's a
But
big thing.
to them. I mean, that's family too.
That is family.
you know?
Yeah,
So
except
it's
for that
like-
rattlesnake girl. Fuck her.
I really
Well, I mean,
hated her character.
I hated her, dude. I fucking hated her.
She's kind of cool.
I
I just
I just thought she
liked her
was-
introduction.
Connor's got a crush.
I thought she was fucking like way too cocky.
In a couple years, I will because that's illegal right now, man.
You can have a crush on somebody.
17.
You just can't admit that you have
Girls
sexual
still
feelings
have
toward her.
cooties, okay?
I'm not Drake, okay? I'm not with Millie Bobby Brown.
So,
Wait,
anyways,
like Drake Bell or
Drake the rapper. You don't know about that? Like
I
how
did not
creepy
know
he is
about
with Millie
that.
Bobby Brown.
Really?
Oh, dude, he's so weird. Yeah.
just let him be.
I remember she posted a picture and
He's like 30.
Paris Hilton called her hot, and like people like got mad at her because they're like, she's only
Called
15.
Millie Bobby Brown hot.
Mm-hmm. Hey, she's doing it to herself. I'm not the biggest fan of her, but
Millie?
yeah,
I feel like we need to drop this conversation.
she's.
Connor-
anyways.
Connor's scared the FBI is just gonna come bust it.
You
FBI, open
oh
up!
my God, no! You haven't seen anything besides Godzilla, right?
A Millie?
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
like real life stuff, like interviews and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I've never gone to Stranger Things, so.
yeah, she's okay. She's really good in that, but 3, 2, 1.
Don't even get me fucking started on that. That's
Oh,
probably
God,
like
what is that?
You did not see Godzilla?
Yeah.
That
Well,
the
what part
scene
was that?
when her family's all together.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, fuck that. That was fucking annoying.
like that's
Oh,
like I
my.
love the movie so much, but I just
That's like the
there's some
ultimate cancer
cringe.
right
That's,
there.
that's like that could like go into an ultimate cringe compilation.
Just 1 hour loop of that scene
Godzilla
going
edition.
on. So anyways, they're in the car, they're having a conversation, and like her power is in a deep sleep, but she's not. Which was a little like, okay, like how does that really work?
Yeah, he gave her like a heavy dose or whatever.
But like,
Maybe it's just kind of like it.
what,
'cause,
what,
I mean, like,
what
it's-
was it?
It's I don't know, but it still seemed like she was struggling to even stay awake
Mm-hmm.
because she woke up like a few
the
times.
syringe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, like he mentions, like, wow, you're really powerful. Like I gave you a lot, and you're still like waking up now and then, you know.
Mhm.
So
But then we get a new trick, and this was like where like her acting really shined, where she was like, you know, pretending to be Danny.
yeah,
And she's like, oh,
she even
This
like
is like
she
a
changed the
hangover.
inflection of her voice too.
yeah,
It
she
really-
did really good. That was like
I don't
the
know if
scene-
that was in post or if that was her, but whatever.
but like that was like the scene where I really thought like she shined, like in her confidence as
No
an
pun
actor.
intended.
But then she's like, I'm gonna try even another trick. You don't wear your seatbelt.
Yeah, she went full force on that one.
And then he dies, which is great.
I love seeing him just fly out of the windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
'Cause I was looking for it too. I was like, there he is.
And then she's walking. Rebecca is staring at her. She's fucking pissed. Obviously, just a production.
It's really
production.
disturbing whenever they like shrivel up and like.
Oh, we haven't even talked about
disappear.
the eyes. The eyes are really cool on them. Like the
glowy shit.
the glowy blue white filter.
No,
on there.
isn't it like black and white? It's like the inverse of like your pupils and
Yeah, well, to me it looked like a blue white kind of mixed color. That's
it's like
how
a ghoulish.
Yeah,
like a blue eyes white dragon.
like Casper,
Like a blue eyes white dragon.
like Casper.
Like blue eyes white dragon.
Fun fact.
No,
Casper.
you guys didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh?
No,
Not a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I didn't
Blue
play the
Eyes White
game,
Dragon.
but I collected.
I just
like,
want
all the
somebody to laugh
cards.
at my blue eyes white dragon joke. Shut the fuck up. You didn't play it.
laugh.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Blue eyes white dragon.
Uh-huh.
Chuckle. Thank you. That's all I wanted.
That's why I told you to laugh.
I don't. I mean,
Anyway.
I don't know.
It's late.
It's not even that. I just want somebody to laugh at my goddamn
Just
joke.
appreciate
It was
damn
clever and it was funny. So thank you to whoever laughed at my joke.
We did we talk about in the initial reaction or just when she says "I love you"? No, obviously we didn't. 'Cause it'd be kind of a spoiler.
I love you.
When she calls her mom, or like her mom calls her, and she's like, "I love you," and then just hang up. And I was like,
But I think that was implied that she finished the whole conversation because she didn't want to hear a whole like Flanagan didn't want to put the whole conversation in there.
no, but like I feel like she also should just been like, "I'm okay, I love you," or like,
Hi,
I'll be
bye.
safe." Like,
yeah, I'm alive.
I get it. Like they needed it just to like have her like, because everybody's gonna be like, "Wow, what's her mom thinking? Like, where is she right now?" So, but yeah,
And
they dropped the
movie's already
phone.
2.5 hours.
But I mean, it's also just like, what do you say? Like, hey, I'm being chased by a group of.
yeah,
fucking
you can't
vampires.
explain yourself.
No, yeah, she doesn't have to,
You
but
can't
just
really say like I'm safe because. No, you're not.
Not
You're
really,
fucking
no,
on the run
she's in
from
peril,
one,
yeah.
heading into a dangerous hotel. But whatever.
it's just, you know, an awful setting where
It was just kind of fun.
your wife
I'm
walks
okay.
in on her dead husband.
So yeah, I'm great. Thanks.
But
Thanks for checking in on me.
Matt totally forgot that we were even gonna go to Colorado.
Well, because it had been so long since I've seen anything for the movie, and then the movie was just so long, and I kept wondering, I'm like, how the fuck are we gonna are they gonna take out Rose? And then he was like, oh, we're going to Colorado. I'm like, oh, maybe we'll go to the Overlook. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, we're going to the Overlook. What the fuck?
Well, it didn't register to me at first whenever he said we're going to Colorado. I'm like, why the fuck are they going to Colorado? I'm like, oh.
Fair enough. But then we go there, and he's like, I gotta go deal with some shit, aka I gotta walk around for the next 10 minutes so everybody can jizz in their pants while we go visit the Overlook Hotel.
But I love how he said it. He's like, I gotta, I want you to stay here, stay in the car, you
Keep
see
the
the
car
lights,
warm.
Yeah.
let me know.
No, yeah, no, I was just being an asshole when I was saying that.
But he's just like, I gotta go wake it up. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Jizz in my pants.
And he goes to the boiler room, which has some payoff at the end.
Did we see the boiler room in The Shining?
I think we do vaguely.
Do we? I don't know, because I don't remember that.
If not, it's definitely in the book because it plays a huge part in the book. Because
I wouldn't know.
at the end of the book, they burn down the hotel. Like the hotel burns down in The
Oh, okay.
Shining. So
Really?
I think parts of that were adapted into this.
That makes sense.
So he's walking around. It's very, like, just
quiet.
It's beautiful. Like, it looks really good.
One thing I wanted to mention was that like thing they added to the score. It's like that whenever some shit's going down, they add that.
Oh,
like,
the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about the initial reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's real.
Because then it gets your heart beating almost to the same pace. Like, it was really smart.
It's just a cool little effect that I don't recall
Another
hearing in another movie. So that's cool.
Which would probably,
it's simple, but it's effective in my opinion. So.
But yeah, we just get all the famous hallways that he's walking down. He's a good old trip on memory lane. Good old times. And then we get to the infamous room where they all slept and chilled and go to the door. And then that's when you get the first
look
of the recreation of a scene.
That's a good way to put it.
And I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
No.
Did
you think that was him at first? Or did it take you a couple seconds until you're like, oh, that's Jack?
Oh, well, sorry. I was talking about.
Okay,
I was talking about the shot when he puts his head into the bathroom and it cuts to the shot in The Shining where Wendy's in the corner and the axe goes through the door.
Yeah.
That was like a split, 2-second scene. And I was just like, did we need that?
No.
It was kind of a jump scare. Yeah. I think Matt kind of went, huh.
It was also just because it was weird because they used a different actress for Wendy.
Yeah, I know.
And she doesn't have the same effect, honestly.
Here we go to the part where this is my biggest gripe with the movie when we go into the ballroom, the gold ballroom.
The gold. Is it called the gold room?
I think it's called the gold room, yeah. And he sits down and
see, this is your biggest gripe?
It was probably my biggest gripe too.
Really?
The scene.
I like the scene itself.
The scene is
I don't like the actors.
Well, yes.
Yeah. I don't like any of the actors they use. So
I like the scene. I love the scene. I kind of just wish it was a waiter. You know, like I just wish it was. But like it makes sense that he, took all those ghosts away. Like he locked them all up, and so like this would be his dad.
Final ghost.
But it took me a minute to like realize that was supposed to be Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, because I was like, this guy really looks like him.
Because Mike Flanagan clearly was only showing half the face. He was only doing a portrait.
He wanted like the jaw, and the hair.
He wanted to really sell you because that is Henry Thomas, who plays Elliot in E.T. He was also in Haunting of Hill House.
No,
he was in Gerald's Game.
Really?
That's Henry Thomas. Yeah.
Oh my.
I didn't know when I saw the movie. I just saw him in the credits. And I was no fucking way. That's Henry Thomas.
He still has a career after E.T.
Yeah, he was in Gerald's Game and Haunting of Hill House.
He was in Gerald's Game?
Yeah, he plays the dad who's the...
Oh, the creepy dad.
The creepy dad.
Oh, my.
And he plays the dad in Haunting of Hill House, the younger dad.
Interesting.
Good I got arrested for being for drunk driving.
Recently?
Yeah, recently. Maybe like a few weeks ago.
Good PR for this movie.
Right? So, but nobody knew he was in this movie.
Right.
And I didn't
even
recognize
credited on Letterboxd. So.
I didn't even recognize him. And that's when I was like shocked when I saw him in IMDb. But I was just watching it and I'm just like, this is bad.
That's some big shoes to fill.
It's Jack Nicholson just has a face.
Yep. And a voice.
Because
he didn't sound like him at all. Or like his his mannerisms or anything like that, really.
Caleb brought it up, not an initial reaction because obviously it'd be spoilers, but maybe he did, honestly. The fact that it could have been a director's choice to use actors and just recreate these characters, or they couldn't get the rights to allow them to use de-aging, to use their face, to use their liking.
Like from the actors themselves?
Yes. So like,
I'm sure Shelley Duvall would not like that.
Yeah,
she's,
so like
in a bad state right now.
And like, Jack Nicholson, he was like, "No, I don't want you to use my face. Like, I'm not gonna have you make me in this movie." And so, I wonder if that was their approach at first. They were going to use de-aging technology because this was Warner Brothers, and they used that in It. So obviously, they have de-aging technology that they could use. So, either it was a director's choice just not to use it because he wanted to be its own, like his own movie, and he didn't want to rely on those actors, or they just couldn't do it because of the rights. And if it's the rights thing, I totally understand. But if they could have gotten the rights and he just didn't want to do it, I'd have been like, Mike, you made a big mistake.
I feel like if like anything, Jack Nicholson is the one that you need out of everybody.
Like I could definitely get behind. I feel so bad. I don't know his name. The black gentleman. He was really good, and I could get behind Wendy.
But the casting for him was just way better than the casting of the other three, in my opinion.
I think Wendy's was
because
good.
like I said, I thought they DH'd the guy or they used like technology to recreate.
They just put a
him.
lot of makeup on him. I thought Wendy, she did really good with her voice. Like I could hear the voice.
But it's just that look. That's why they casted her originally.
She just looked so traumatized.
Yeah, that and just like this woman, you could see this woman and like the anxiety in her face. When the third act comes up.
I bought her as a knockoff Shelley when.
Yeah, that's all like the great value versions of these actors.
But so we get that scene, and I was so glad it was like when it was over. I was like, I liked the dialogue a lot, and I liked the scene, but it's just I couldn't like look at him. Like obviously I was because I wanted to watch the movie, but like it's really hard to watch that knowing, and especially like halfway through the conversation, you're like, fuck, this is supposed to be his dad. Like, and so we go away, and I was like, that's it. We're not going to see any more of Jack Torrance. I was wrong. We'll get there. But Rebecca...
They literally used like the three biggest seats.
I know, and it was fucking stupid. But Rebecca shows up, so they meet up, and shit goes down. We finally go to the big lobby room.
Yep.
With the typewriter.
That's where it all begins.
And we enter what Rebecca thinks is Abra's mind.
Yes.
And we get, they're trailing around, just trying to find him.
Yep.
And, oh, dude. First, I remember it was a shot in the trailer, and it was her holding that little knife in the forest, in the maze. And I was like, are you really going to create the fucking scene, like, of her chasing somebody with a fucking knife? But then when I watched it, it makes sense. Like, it's all in their mind. Mm-hmm. And I never noticed that little fucking, like, indent in the knife.
Like it's like a little shank.
Yeah, like it looks fucking painful. And we get some cuts.
And she gets cut 3 times, like, near the knee.
Yeah, like
and
behind.
She's still standing.
Like, and she's not even phased by it. I guess, no. Well,
because it's in her vision, so I guess that makes sense.
No, because she broke her hand in her vision.
Right.
But she took those... she ate those 2 canisters left, and it literally healed her hand. So I feel like she almost had she was really immortal.
Like excess.
Yeah, you slice her and she's gonna instantly heal. So they just didn't really do a good job of showing it.
Yeah, there's already so much to show in this movie. It's pretty long, so I guess I understand them leaving a few things out.
Then when she's choking her out, and like the very first time the camera's looking at Rebecca in like the corner, you can see like this object slowly moving. Yeah. And then it cuts back, it gets closer, like, oh, it's the fucking box. Like they're about to lock her up.
They're about to get her.
And they don't.
But no.
Because she realizes this isn't her mind. And so they get pulled out. And then she's like, oh, hello, handsome. And if Rebecca Ferguson called me handsome, I would drop my pants right there and jump on her.
Dude, she's really great in this.
I love her in the Mission Impossibles. I love her in Greatest Showman. I love her in this. Like, I'm glad she has a career now and she's making bank and being in big movies. I love you. So
a love letter to Rebecca.
We get, and I was okay with this, recreating the stair scene, like with them when they're walking up. You didn't like that? No. See?
Yeah. Oh wait, okay, wait. Are you referencing the older Danny and her?
Yeah.
Or the actual recreation?
No, fuck that. No, like more.
Okay. That's what I was reacting to.
No, sorry,
like,
more.
What?
More like when they did the Office.
I like that.
I like that because like the roles are flipped. Mm-hmm. And it just was, I loved it. It was fun. It was intimidating. But then, like, Mike Flanagan's like, hey, look at this shot. And you're like, no!
Look what I made. No!
It looks so bad. I need some, like, when this movie comes out, they're definitely those shots are going to be floating around the internet. I need to really look at it.
They're probably floating around now, honestly.
Because, like,
cam footage.
I feel like they show it so fast that, like, they filmed it. They thought it looked good. Then they watched it and they're like,
"We can only keep 2 seconds.
We can literally put 2 frames of this in the movie. So if they blink, they miss it."
It's like It's like when he does one swing and he cuts.
Because like I honestly I feel like they redid the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, like the whole scene.
Like maybe just the stair scene.
Yeah, because
And
that's
then-
a really dialogue heavy, like
Yeah.
driven
Well,
scene.
because he did say like light of my life,
yeah.
Like
and I was just like, you're not Jack Nicholson.
Please.
Please, for the love of
that
God,
is
stop.
the best fucking
There's
scene in the movie.
Well, like in terms of the context of that, there's no tension built.
No,
So
it
just be like,
it's just like,
like,
hey,
dude.
remember this? Look at we're doing
except worse.
it. Yeah, except
in worse lighting, like it looks too
yeah, it
new.
looks like Hallmark. Like it looked like everything was bright and
So
shiny
that
and
should
clean.
that should have been on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, it was fucking awful. Mike Flanagan, I'm sorry, that was
No.
fucking awful.
No, thank you.
Um,
But everything else, pretty good.
was it just those two shots they recreated, or was there one more?
It was the swing of the axe into
Yep.
the door, the stairs,
And wasn't
and
there?
well, I'd say like not recreated it from the movie, but like in terms of like thematically him at the bar. That's what I was referring to.
Okay, I
So,
thought
like,
there was.
that's
I
the
thought there was
famous
one
scene
more
that-
shot.
I'm
with-
sure there was.
Yeah, 'cause, like,
maybe in the maze. Did they shoot one with him in it?
I don't think so.
maybe I definitely
'Cause I thought
hope
they-
I get around to seeing this.
Because what I thought whenever they're chasing around the maze and you see like the shadow every now and then, like the person running away. When
I thought
she's
that
like,
was. I thought that was.
Jack.
Yeah, I thought that was Jack. I thought she was tailing Jack.
Yeah, and then like
but-
eventually he'd like.
and maybe
fuck
that's
her
what they
up.
wanted you to think, but.
Modern Jack, I guess. Whatever. Abra.
So it gets a little scary. Like I really thought Danny was gonna make it alive out of this movie, because I was just like, this little girl can't like be alone.
But it makes sense now that I liked. Like whenever you see what his character ends up being,
Yes,
for
yes,
Abra,
definitely.
I really like that decision.
But like when she finally he gets her in the fucking shoulder. She grabs it and turns it around and gets it like in. I think she says like his artery, like in his. Yeah, and he falls down the stairs, which is fucking violent. And then she just goes to town.
way more of a violent fall than his dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then his dad's kind of he's like, huh?
Yeah.
And like falls like backwards kind of, but she like starts sucking in the pain, and then she realized like, oh, there's a lot of them in you.
What's that voice?
I don't know, but
There's
then
a lot of them.
he's like, fuck it, we're gonna wake them up. And
Yeah, mine's well.
I can't believe that was a shot in the trailer. Like that was crazy. Like later on when they're all grabbing his face, like that's
That
like,
was in the
that's-
trailer?
Yeah, that was in the trailer. That's like the final shot. I feel like before they say Dr. Sleep.
Also, what Stuckman reference. I just watched his review. That's
That's why it's
I-
fresh in your mind.
Yeah, it's fresh in my mind. But he said like a lot of people were going to be upset about the shot of him looking through the door, but that's actually in the third act, which is nice. Cause
I thought it was great.
because that was shown in the trailer, so I was like, oh no. 'Cause I was telling Matt earlier, I was not excited for this movie from like a like trailer perspective, like promotional material. I was like, oh god, they're just gonna go so hard on the Shining references, and which I said like I was glad like 90% of this movie was not that.
No,
So,
yeah. And then
thankfully,
when you get to the hotel in the third act, I feel like it's fine. Like it's like the movie.
see, I wasn't a big fan of that, but like
Really?
it wasn't as bad as the beginning for me. But I was like, okay, like,
um,
it's cool that they had the showdown in the hotel, but the recreations,
Yeah, okay,
and I'm like, this is too much.
if you take the recreations out, it's like almost like great. It's great.
Yeah, it's fine just being in the setting because it's like, okay.
Where else would you have the final
But then
showdown?
like Rose, is that her name?
Yeah, Rose the Hat.
Rose the Hat. She like looks into the elevator, and of course the elevator does the blood scene. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I thought that was a little forced. Like it was just kind of like, hey, look, we're recreating it, and then she just walks away.
it just
like,
gave me Ready Player One vibes
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
because they do that.
Um.
It's like, oh look, it's blood.
So
Fuck that movie.
they devour her, and she's gone. They
Mm-hmm.
kill her. It's great. And then I like how like they're just like, fuck you, Danny. We're gonna kill you now because we're pissed off. We've been locked up for like roughly 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start attacking him.
Shit really hits the fan
Yeah.
towards the end of this final act.
And then that's when he becomes his dad. And he's walking around with the limp.
Abra.
And she runs into room 237. And we get the witch. I was really hoping we were going to get a sexy lady at first, but no, a witch all the time.
Little baby Andrew can't be happy twice in his life.
Nope. So then, yeah, we get the whole scene where he finds her and she's like, no, like, that's not Uncle Dan. That's not the Danny I know. Danny boy. Okay.
That was a great Spark Note version of that scene.
So,
Daddy boy.
and then he's like, fuck it, I'm still going to kill you. But he really knew what he was trying to do. And he's like, I got to sacrifice myself. I got to go to the boiler room.
Because like what you were saying, like you thought he was going to make it out alive. And we see him with Abra in her room. I had a feeling like I was like, dude, there's no way he can't.
Oh no, I knew he was dead.
But when I see him, I'm like, did they really make it to where he did get out? Like he got out of there alive? I'm like, okay, thank God they didn't do that.
Because one thing that we haven't mentioned yet is the story where he talks about his mom dying and how those death flies were all around her face to the point where he couldn't.
It's a rough image.
See her.
That kind of reminded me of the image we see in Hereditary with the ants.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's what I had in my mind. I was like, ooh,
that's
that
cool.
Would
That's
be scary.
cool.
That would be
like
scary.
shot to put it.
But I thought I felt like I saw an image like that in the trailer with like flies over a person's face.
Really?
But I guess that was just my subconscious thinking about Hereditary. So.
And so it was nice that, when he's sitting around the fire, there's a shot. I mean, you probably weren't a fan because you don't like the kid, but when Wendy was like
the fire,
like when Wendy shows up and like kind of like puts her hand on Danny, like kind of to comfort him, like when he's a child, and then like it cuts to outside and it's all burning and the police are coming, which I thought was a very fast response. But I mean, I don't know how long she was standing out there, but like I thought that was like a really fast response. Dude, I just got another follower on Letterboxd. That's what's up.
Dope.
So movie wraps up. She's talking to Danny. He has passed on, but he's going to be there for her in spirit.
The new role of
what's
his face.
God, I feel so bad we don't know his name. We could easily have looked it up, but we're almost coming to the end of this. I could look. She gets some closure to her mom, saying that Dad is fine. He's in a good place, and she turns around, sees that Dick.
Looked up black guy and shiny. Easy look up.
She turns around. She sees the witch, which is, she's going to be closing up the...
It's a cute little final shot.
Yeah. It's a fun little shot. And then the movie ends. And we get some beautiful music and then some very peaceful... Did you stay the whole time through the credits?
They did not have after credits, did they?
No. We were just like...
They did.
Because after
Jason asked me and I looked it up and I was like, and the article said no.
It was a trailer for Pet Sematary 2 coming soon to a theater near you.
New Year.
Yeah, there you go.
Happy New Year.
Having a stroke.
No, but like after the first song, the rest of the credits was just like nature. It was just like the wind blowing and like trees moving and like
it's kind of therapeutic.
It was nice because like there was quite a few people. I would say there was like almost 10 people that stayed through the entire credits and like.
Well, nowadays mine's well because there's so many movies.
Yeah, I mean we were just taking it in and like there was like we kind of had a conversation with like a person down below and the person next to us and.
I probably would have been the same if it wasn't 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, that's true. I would have gotten the fuck out of there.
I'm like, Jason, I gotta go home. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I gotta be up early tomorrow.
But yeah, it was a really good movie. At the end of the day, I really enjoyed it. This is the 4th Stephen King adaptation this year, and definitely my favorite.
It too. This Pet Sematary.
In the Tall Grass, Into the Tall Grass.
The Netflix original
movie.
Did you watch that?
No,
right.
I didn't. I want to.
You did a reaction to the trailer.
We did. We do it for the views.
Sorry, not sorry.
So yeah, go check out The Invisible Man and like it because we are getting.
We need to get that ratio up, guys. Come on. Haters.
But no, so I think we all really enjoyed it. I think it's obviously not a perfect film like the last 2 movies that have come out that people can really love. I mean, Parasite and The Lighthouse, like those are like movies that people are praising. But this is definitely a really good movie.
It's just really nice to see a horror movie from a director that actually gives a shit what he's doing in his craft.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, like I was telling Matt earlier, this is more sci-fi, which I liked. I think we were also talking about it. But I just like that the most was it was his own thing for most of it, and it's more sci-fi with some horror elements. And I think that's what some people will get upset about because they're like, "Oh, let's go see the new horror movie out in theaters," like stupid teenagers. But I just like because like that's why Stephen King was so upset about the Shining movie. It's because it really doesn't touch a lot on Danny, like his powers and like what that means to the actual story. It's more like realistic driven. I feel like what Kubrick wanted to do and like.
It's more of
the
like
descent into madness for Jack,
like isolation, and being stuck and being
just way
trapped.
more psychological horror, and that's why Steven didn't like it with like having Danny as the main focus in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think Steven obviously likes this more because that's more like towards the actual Shining, and there's a lot of power stuff and stuff like that, which I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely did too.
Mm-hmm. It's different.
Yeah, it's different, and I hope it makes some money. I don't know how.
I don't know what the budget is for this.
Yeah, I looked it up, and it didn't show
really?
on IMDb when it usually does. But, got
$300 million.
That's a lot of money.
It says 45 to 55 million.
I was
Really?
way off.
So that's actually way lower than I thought. So they'll probably had to make like 115 to break even.
And it definitely will.
It will.
Because, I mean...
It's made apparently 5.6 and it's Friday. So that's pre-Friday numbers.
Yeah, that's Thursday. Because I think it's got one more... It's got this weekend and it's got next weekend and then Frozen comes out. So it's only got 2 weekends.
Is that coming out Thanksgiving weekend?
The week actually before Thanksgiving. No movie comes out on Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday and Black Friday.
Knives Out.
Well, that comes out the 25th on Wednesday.
Thursday.
Yeah. Thanksgiving is always on Thursday.
Well, yeah. So then, like, movies come out Wednesday. Like, Knives Out comes out Wednesday.
Oh, because you're saying for like the long weekend.
Yeah, like nobody's gonna go see a movie on Thanksgiving.
Same thing with
so
yeah. By July 4th weekends.
Yeah. So. Yes.
I'm just really not looking forward to the end of this month.
How so?
Work.
Oh yeah, FedEx. Beginning.
Christmas time is here.
Coming. So yeah, I guess grades. You doing your ladybug centipede thing?
Have you been doing that? Like
No.
Oh damn.
We actually haven't
awesome.
done grades. I don't think since
my last one.
Maybe was that
It was a.
it chapter 2?
Was that the last movie I was in?
I think so.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm at
Whatever.
either he's
5
5
Popeyes chicken sandwiches.
I like where this is
out
going.
of 10 McChickens.
So that
So
is
That is an A+. That's
That's
a 5, that's a
very
5
good.
out of 5.
Yeah,
Oh, so A+ for you.
Yeah, so, you know.
that's a good scale.
Yeah.
I would say like an A.
Yeah.
A.
I'm tossing. I'm an A-, I think.
Yeah, I hate seeing your rating right before we do like a podcast because I know how you're gonna feel for
Sorry.
the most part.
What's your rating? C-.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, C-.
Yeah. Well, that's not a C-. I'd say C- is like a 4 out of 10.
What?
Because
That's like a-
5's in the middle. 5's like mediocre film. And 6 is good. So that'd be like a C+, B-.
Okay, well, I'm going out like mathematically.
Yeah, like school.
So how many stars is that? Like 4 or 4?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, I really liked it. I think it will be.
I still really enjoyed it. It might go up for me, but
My biggest thing was just the actors for the old cast.
yeah, I mean that just really bothered me.
Yeah, and I mean you didn't like the epilogue, which makes sense. And you really didn't care for.
I loved 90% of this film.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it'll definitely be in my top 10 for the latter half of the year.
Okay.
Overall, maybe.
Same thing for you? You think so? Just like rough estimate?
I don't know. I have to sit down and kind of look at everything.
I'm telling. Just use Letterboxd to log in your movies.
Yeah, you don't have to review or anything.
You don't have to review it.
Like work. I'll probably start next year to start fresh.
Like it's really good, so you can just go back and you can see all the.
Because once you like log all the films you've watched, then it's easy after that because like you're just logging in stuff you just watched.
Yeah. But For Caleb, I think I said it earlier, like in the very beginning, but this might be like his favorite movie of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Because you guys really loved Endgame, especially him. So it's like that's pretty
It's
impressive.
pretty impressive.
Loved it that much.
Loved it a lot more. But yeah, so I was really happy about this movie.
Lot to like.
Lot to like.
It's definitely not a bad movie.
But this is after this, I think Knives Out is my next really highly anticipated film, and then Star Wars. So
no love for Irishman or anything like that.
I keep forgetting about Irishman because it's like not really going to be in theaters. Like it's just going to be on Netflix one day.
Oh, like Uncut Gems is coming out too, I guess.
Yeah, but I guess like for me, like I guess like this was more of like a
most of my
movie.
Yeah, most of my most anticipated for like these last few months have already come out, like Parasite and Lighthouse.
Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed by Jojo Rabbit. Still good, but yeah, so, unfortunate.
But yeah, so there's still plenty of movies coming out.
Yep. Best time of the year for movies.
There's probably like 5 that I'm like really excited to see, but I'll probably hopefully end up seeing like 15 more.
Star Wars.
So. Yeah, I think that was a good tight little podcast.
Yeah,
right under an hour.
Not too
40.
bloated.
So
pretty straightforward.
Any more final thoughts? I think we really covered the movie. Like,
yeah, this is probably our most on topic with like the story in a while.
Yeah,
because all of us like pitched in like, oh, what about this scene? Oh,
yeah, I think
this happened.
It's a long movie, so I think we.
Yeah, so I think we did a really good.
We did a really good job remembering
most of it. So
even if we had to bounce around, but final thoughts, guys. Anything?
I think my favorite part was just being able to see Ewan McGregor back in the good old driver's seat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like we mentioned earlier, he's being busy like these, year or so.
I saw the last one was Christopher Robin, but like that was
don't like that.
Fine. Like
that upset me.
It was
it ruined my childhood. Ruined Johnson.
But yeah, he's not really in movies.
Nami is gonna be in Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey, and then he's gonna be filming Obi-Wan. Oh my gosh! But I love The Impossible. I still need to see Moulin Rouge.
That's a really good movie.
Yeah,
he's in that.
Yeah,
wow.
He's like the main actor.
Okay,
him and Nicole Kidman, right?
Nicole Kidman,
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, it's both of them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we should watch
it.
Check that out.
Let me know when you watch it because I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Like, you really.
What year did that come out?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Yeah.
That
was like peak Kidman and Ewan.
Yeah.
Like it was like one of those movies like where my girlfriend put it on and I was like, ah.
A musical.
And then I like started watching it and I was just like, fuck, okay. Because they did like a rendition of Nirvana's Teen Spirit, and like when I heard that come on, I was like, fuck, this is pretty good.
Have you seen Teen Spirit in the Pan movie of Hugh Jackman?
No.
Oh, dude, no, don't do it on here.
No, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm just gonna open it so I remember to like do it like right now.
Oh my gosh.
But I think we're gonna end it here, guys.
Go check out that video if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, go check out. Type in
no one watched that movie, so I know most.
Type in Teen Spirit Pan, and it'll be the 3rd video. It has like almost 2 million views. So we're about to watch it. Matt's about to die and laugh at the same time. But yeah, Caleb, we missed you. Hope you're having fun in Illinois. Be safe.
Yeah.
And enjoy
Suck on the
snow,
bitch.
Yeah. Cheers to you. I have nothing left, but there you go.
I have a little bit more.
Thanks. I don't want to raise my glass.
But yeah, this has been Andrew.
This has been Connor.
And this has been Matthew.
Peace, guys.
It's been good.
We love you all.